Oh my god, the game is ruined now! This game is ruined! They blew it up, man! Oh my god, this is literally something my brother would make, guys. What? What the fuck?
This would be perfect for a war.
Now, let's begin.
This character looks whack. Oh, is it random select? This is the best character ever! They literally made me a character! Hey, what's up guys? Vesper here, and I'm about to talk about what might be the biggest update Street Fighter V has ever gotten. I don't think the game will be ever the same again. Capcom has done a winter update presentation, giving us all the information and goodies that we're going to be getting down the road, and which is coming up real soon here, and it exceeded my expectations. I'm super excited. I'm pumped, man. And I was really genuinely surprised. We finally didn't get any crazy leaks. And yeah, man, I'm sure a lot of people didn't see this one coming, especially with all the predictions up to this point. So first, let me say, the presentation format was godlike. It was only about 30 minutes long, but it was hype. There was tons of surprises, and it was also informative and to the point. And it's also great how Capcom kind of low-key showed off some of the balance changes that we'll be getting without, lengthening the presentation. And you kind of catch it. If you have your favorite character on screen, you're like, oh wait, I just noticed a change right there. It was really cool. There will also be a new premium pass we got to talk about as well, which we'll do near the end of the video here. We have some different payment options that we could do for a bunch of this content, including the characters. So let's get right into it, guys. There is a lot to talk about. We're not going to be able to talk about it all. I'll try my best to summarize all the information, and I'll talk as quickly as I can, and we'll go much more in-depth in the future here. I'm going to be hammering out videos again, guys. We might be getting daily content again for Street Fighter. So let's just start off with Rose, okay? Capcom wasn't holding back from the get-go. We actually got to see some Rose footage, which I'm super surprised about. It wasn't just camera phone footage or screenshots. So Rose is Minot's master, of course, and her storyline will reveal more information that they said when she comes out. Of course, hopefully it won't be like an afterthought waste of a storyline, but there's no time to speculate about that. So another thing is they showed off Rose's stage already. So it's called Marina of Fortune, and it's of course based off of her Alpha 2 stage, but it's refined. There's lots of movement in the background. We get to see lots of boats moving up and down through the water. It's nice and bright lighting. The water looks clear. I really like the brightness of the stage. My favorite stage in Street Fighter V, by the way, is the beach stage. So this is the next best thing. Capcom, please don't ban it from the CPT. And yeah, it looks beautiful, and it will release with Rose, the character, when she finally comes out. And the stage will probably lag. So yeah, we gotta talk about Rose now. So she has a lot of moves that are directly translated from her Alpha moveset, such as utilizing, her large scarf. But there's also new moves too that they added as well. And Capcom even showed us like the capture site that they use for the mocap and all that. And you can even see like Street Fighter Alpha running on one of their TV screens in the background, so they can use it as a reference, which is really neat. And you never get to see this kind of stuff behind the scenes. You see everyone smiling and having fun, having a good time. And honestly, like as weird as it sounds, it kind of just brings some life because, since Capcom's communication was so bad in the last couple of years, it just felt like, just like a non-entity, a robot. And, it's nice to see these people working on it. You can see there's passion on this project with the new direction of the game. So Rose's special moves, let's talk about that. Her normals we can talk about more in depth later, but her special moves include her classic Soul Spark, but with a twist though, okay? So she can now perform this in the air, giving her an air fireball similar to, I would say close to like Falk's style of air fireball. So damn, man, she looks annoying to deal with. She also has another projectile as well called Soul Power, and this is basically an immobile fireball that appears on the screen and it detonates like a bomb after a certain amount of time. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this. She also has Soul Bind. So this is a new anti-air attack that she has that will replace her Soul Throw, I guess because Minot already has it. And we know this is done with a DP motion and punch, and it's kind of like a hit grab. We can also see a glimpse of her soul spiral returning as well. So for her V system, I'm surprised Capcom showed all of this, by the way, for Rose. So her V skill 1, this will make Rose take out one of her tarot cards, and she'll either buff herself or debuff the opponent in various ways depending on which tarot card she has out. And you can cycle through these tarot cards as well. It's very unique. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's a random cycle or if it's gonna be something like Faust, because we know like they like to copy a lot of Guilty Gear mechanics, or if it's gonna be a certain order, kind of like Twisted Fate in League of Legends. But either way, this is a very interesting V skill. I know a lot of people wanted her to use those tarot cards because we've seen a lot of previews of that whenever they talk about Rose. Now for her V skill 2, surprisingly, Rose's V skill 2 is actually her soul satellite. So her soul satellite, she can have out up to 2 orbs at once, just like her old super. And yeah, I didn't see this one coming, man. So having this plus her V trigger out, she's gonna be a crazy unique character. And like I said, these tarot cards are the V skill 1, man. Some of these debuff looks like they poison the opponent. Looks like one of them slows down the opponent and raises her strength. Like the character designs with Dan and Rose and like going down the road, man, they look really unique, man. I'm really happy about this. They look like they're really putting some effort into these characters, these new characters. So let's talk about her V triggers now. Her V trigger 1 gives Rose the ability to teleport several times in various locations on the map. So it's an install, and then she now has access to a teleport. I mean, there's a lot of things she can do with this now that she has air fireballs and soul satellite as a V skill. Her V trigger 2 is Soul Illusion. And this is her classic super. This basically she gets a doppelganger that mimics and enhances all of Rose's attack, basically doing double hits. So she gets new combos, new pressure, and yeah, there's a lot of things you can probably do with this as well. Hopefully, people don't find it infinite with this on day 1. There is so much to talk about with just this information alone, guys, on Rose, but I gotta dedicate this to another video. We got to keep moving, but I do think Rose looks amazing, and I'm very satisfied with her design. I'm not a huge Rose fan, but she looks super fun, and I'm sure everyone who is a Rose fan is super excited that Capcom delivered on this, on not only maintaining her classic moveset, but giving her some new stuff as well with that Street Fighter V flair. Okay, moving on now for Dan. Okay, so we've already covered Dan in the future, but we obviously got some new details confirmed, and there's some stuff we assumed as well that got confirmed. So let's talk about that. So first, his V skill taunts actually give both you and the opponent V gauge. They give a little bit less to the opponent, but they give the opponent V gauge nonetheless. So it's kind of funny and kind of bad if you want to be a Dan main, because you're essentially helping your opponent by taunting him, and you're leaving yourself open with the taunts too. So, you know, it basically makes your opponent angry, which is really funny. And you're going to be taunting a lot with Dan because it's in all of his combos. His V trigger 1 is only 1 bar. That's very unique. So it's a 1 bar V trigger, and what it is, it's a one-time activation. He shoots a short projectile that can do up to 6 hits, and you can also charge it, kind of like reuse Denjin. And if you fully charge it, hit the opponent, it'll do more hits, and it'll wall bounce them, allowing for a juggle. Or if they block it, it'll guard crush the opponent on block. So you're gonna be able to spam this. This is with 1 bar V trigger, and with all of his taunt combos. I mean, you're seeing taunts being canceled on the taunts there. You're gonna be able to spam this V trigger, which is really funny. Dan's V trigger 2 is a 2 bar V trigger, and it's an install. And what this does is it enhances Dan's both his fireball and his DP. So the fireball will make it more plus, and the DP will actually make it invincible. But there is a twist though. This isn't one of those just like plain boring install V triggers. Oh, it buffs both your specials, blah blah blah. No, the twist is that you can input either of these specials perfectly with the direction and the button at the same time. You'll get a stronger version of it. Just really interesting. This reminds me of like Electric Wind, you know, God Fist from Tekken, something like that. I'm sure it won't be as hard where you have to practice for a year straight just to get it out, but it sounds very interesting. It's cool. I wish some other characters had something like this as well. And maybe I'll add a skill gap for you Dan players that put in the work. So that's neat. So Dan's taunt super, they finally showed off the full animation. I'm telling you guys right now, you're never going to get this in a match. You're never going to finish this whole thing in the match. Even if you stun the opponent perfectly and cancel into it, you're never going to get this in the match. This thing lasts like 10 years. Alright, and it probably gives your opponent full super too when you land. But it looks funny nonetheless. But fear not, this isn't Dan's only super. Dan actually has a second super, which makes him do a barrage of attacks. And I couldn't see, like, when they only showed it once, and you couldn't see how far Dan dashes forward, but I'm assuming he does dash forward, so maybe it can be used to counter fireballs and that. But nonetheless, Dan has an attacking super, thank goodness. And yeah, we got to see some match footage, and there's a ton of stuff to talk about Dan. But once again, guys, we gotta move on. I gotta keep this video as short as I can. All right, new mechanic. This one's a doozy, guys. I didn't see this one coming. We've been hearing rumors and leaks. Second view reversal, second super. It couldn't get any more snooze than that, man. My expectations were low. I thought Capcom would do a mechanic that would be very simple and easy for them to implement, to buy time for whatever, you know, Street Fighter 6 or whatever for the year. I was definitely wrong on this one. We got a new mechanic, and it's called V-Shift. And it's a new defensive mechanic that shows Capcom was actually listening to their fans. A lot of people demanded a new defensive mechanic in the game to deal with a lot of stuff. Street Fighter 5 is a game that relies on frame data more than any other, man. How many times have you guys blocked Cadine's crouching medium punch, and you wanted something to deal with this nonsense if you're using a weaker character? So what this V-Shift is, it's essentially a command invincible backdash that will slow down both you and the opponent if you successfully perform it when the opponent is attacking you, including projectiles. It's kind of like a counter, kind of like a YRC counter backdash. I know it's really hard to explain in just like a few words, but if you see it, you'll kind of understand what I'm saying. So this allows you to punish the opponent for doing telegraph attacks and pressure. And this uses, I mean, the uses for this, guys, are unlimited, okay? I've talked about hours on this already on my stream on what this could be used for, but basically any, like, pressure screen that you've seen a billion times, whether it's Rashid, you know, comboing to his, you know, his whirlwind, or Akuma doing crouching medium punch on you a billion times, that's what this thing is for. It's for people doing predictable pressure, right? Or very strong pressure from strong characters that we've seen a billion times. So it will cost 1 bar of V-Gauge. However, if you're successful at activating it, then you'll get half of that 1 bar back. So you'll essentially cost half a bar. So this does not activate the slowdown, and thus you won't get the half bar back if the opponent does a throw or a command grab. But you'll still dodge because it's essentially an invincible backdash anyway. So you might still even be able to counter the opponent too. So every character also gets a follow-up during this V-Shift called V-Shift Break, which knocks down the opponent kind of like a V-reversal would. So every character kind of has this canned long-range attack, and this essentially makes it so that every character has an opportunity to punish no matter what the range or which the character is. But of course, you're going to have characters that can do some really fat punishes on certain attacks as well. So this alone is just going to change the game so much. There's going to be so many ideas of punishes, and so many things are now going to be dangerous. Nothing is safe in the game now. Capcom has showed us many examples of punishing attacks, and the reason this changes the game is because every single string or attack can now be countered, basically. You know, this is going to create a brand new meta that requires players to be as unpredictable as possible. You know, like, for example, is a Rashid just doing the same annoying block screen over and over again? Bam! V-Shift. You know, if he does V-Trigger 1, you can V-Shift it. Is Akuma going to be plus a billion? Bam, V-Shift. Air Fireball? V-Shift. Is an annoying grappler putting you in a 50-50 all the time? V-Shift. You know, this is so weird because it seems like my brother added this to the game, because my brother was complaining about throws and block screens for so long and when he first started this game, and now they finally added a mechanic that solves that. So yeah, the results are endless, and of course, you'll be able to debate this too, guys, as well. It's gonna create, you know, what this is gonna do at the end of the day. It's gonna create a lot of interaction between both players, and basically just make this whole V system, which is the main system of Street Fighter 5, more prominent than ever. It kind of felt a little empty, like something was missing. You know, this completes the puzzle, I feel, and it'll no longer just be a V-Trigger fest. Each match is gonna be a lot more exciting. We're not essentially just gonna see V-Trigger comebacks every single round. Now we're going to see people, you know, using different things with the V-Gauge, right? It's definitely going to change the game. And we even see an example, man, of a V-shift counter and a V-shift break. Like, what is going on? What game is this, man? So, the weird part too, we don't even know what the command is at the time of making this video. So we're gonna have to see what the command is. I mean, a lot of people are saying like maybe it's back 3 punches, back 3 kicks. I mean, that's gonna be weird for Falk or Ed because they'll accidentally do special moves. I don't know. It might be back and like medium heavy and medium kick or something like that, kind of like Red Focus was. We'll see. So this V shift can also only be done in the normal or neutral state. So V reversal will still have a use. V reversal will be used when you're blocking, and this will be used when you're not blocking. And the startup seems instant because we actually see them using it as a reversal. And we're seeing them doing it in block strings that are as small as like 2 frames. Okay, so this thing looks fast. Any block string that is not perfect, a perfect block string is risky now. So yeah, man, I could do 3 videos talking about this mechanic, but we gotta move on, guys. But anyways, this new mechanic is godlike. Even if you guys are salty about this mechanic and you think people are gonna play the game even more crazy now online and just spam this move, I mean, at least it costs a V gauge, but you know what? It's gonna change the game forever, and that's what we want. We want this game to feel fresh again, and that's exactly what this mechanic is gonna do. Second Super ain't gonna do that. This will. So there you go. All right, moving on here. So Capcom says with this new V-shift mechanic, they're going to relook at every single character and make sure they fully utilize the demand for the V gauge. So they're talking about the balance changes here. So what I'm going to assume this means is that Capcom is when they're going to buff the amount of V gauge that characters get from V skills, for example, and ways to combo into them, because it's really important to get V gauge now. Besides blocking with your face, you're going to want to optimize V gauge over damage in a lot of cases now with characters because it's just so damn important. You're going to be using this V-shift a lot, I feel, during the course of the match. And they also said they're looking at each character's strengths and weaknesses. And with the preview of things that they showed, man, it does not look like this is an afterthought. We're seeing new combos and brand new moves for just a short amount of characters that they showed. Crazy stuff. Like Nikali, he has a 2-bar V-trigger 1 now. Like, what? And he's got a new special move that he's juggling into. And then we see his V-trigger running out. Like, what is going on? And Ryu's doing a juggle combo with jumping heavy kick. And then he combos into V-trigger 2 without countering. It's wild, guys. It's wild. Some people wanted Omega mode. This is Omega mode, okay? This is the main game. And also with the recent preview of Akuma's side switch nerf, we can tell this balance patch is going to make the game feel fresh again. It's not just going to be, oh, this character gets plus more of this, less pushback here. No, we're getting new combos, we're getting new moves. This is great. This is what we want. And now that we have all these new systems in place with the V-skill 2s, the V-trigger 2s, it's going to feel even more if they relook at that for every single character. It's going to be more impactful. Because there's some characters that don't use their V-skill 2s for every matchup. There's some characters that don't use their V-triggers 2s. And that's why I think this update is so important, because everyone's going to use this V-shift. Everyone. It doesn't matter what character you are. So, finally, they're adding this very interesting character named 11. Which they didn't have time to talk about the presentation, by the way. So, 11, you guys might know him because you might know 12. I don't know the lore, okay? I know that 11 was probably like some defect, and I think you can only use X copy. But anyways, there's this leaks, right? So this 11 character was quote unquote accidentally leaked. Twitch had this thing where they're like, oh, they were summarizing the presentation and they include and the new character 11. And everyone lost their shit. Okay, people were super salty. They're like, oh no, this is like the worst character ever. Like this is like the waste of the 5th character. Nobody asked for this, blah blah blah. But we found out. Don't worry, guys. 11 is just a bonus character, a bonus one. And what he is, he's not even really a character. He's essentially a random select character, like Mokujin from Tekken. Okay, this is my dream character, guys. I've always complained about how you can't use random select in ranked. Okay, you guys know I love to switch characters all the time, sometimes every 2 weeks. So I'm going to main 11. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm going to main 11 in the future. This character is perfect for me as a content creator. So I'm super happy for 11. So 11 basically is just going to randomly select a character each match, and that's all it is. It's just a character with a different voice. It's something really easy for Capcom to make, but also very clever. And I'm super happy on this. A bonus character will not contribute out of the 5th character. We still don't know who the 5th character is going to be. It's probably going to be a KOF character in the last stage. It's probably going to be a KOF stage. But Speculations aside, let's keep moving on. So guys, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm not speculating, this is the hypest update we have ever gotten for Street Fighter V. Even hyper than V-Trigger 2 reveal, because like I said, not every character was able to use their V-Trigger 2. I can confidently say this is the biggest one. And, this is not like, Capcom made this patch to just buy time. Everything does not look like an afterthought. The character design looks excellent. The new mechanic looks game-changing. It'll completely change the meta and the balance patch, everything. I cannot wait, guys. And it's coming so soon, guys. Like 10 days from now. So this makes me so excited. Like, just the new presentation, everything. This looks like Capcom turned a new leaf. We can definitely see the difference in the new direction in the game. Not trying to throw shade at Ono, but I'm just saying you can tell right away, okay, that things are changing behind the scenes. I'm more confident in Capcom than ever now, and I'm looking forward to just the new content in the future and even their future titles like Street Fighter 6. All right, let's talk about the details now on the money you guys will be spending. Okay, so first off, the release date for all of this winter update, will be on February 22nd on Monday, so that's less than 2 weeks from now. The first update is going to be coming with Dan, the new mechanic V-Shift, the balance patch, and 11 if you get the character or premium pass. So, of course, this update is free, but there's also a character pass you guys can buy as well, which will come with 11. And also, by the way, there's a new training stage as well. I forgot to mention that. There's a new training stage. You guys will be getting that for free, too. It's basically a color swap, and it's more pleasant on the eyes, in my opinion. It's just I like to train late at night. Okay, so this normal character pass is going to cost you guys $24.99, so 25 bones, and it'll get you all 5 upcoming characters for the final season, including their battle costumes and their base color set you'll get as well. And this will come with the bonus character 11. Once again, you don't have to get the premium pass or 11. So this is a normal character pass that you guys are, accustomed to. And, honestly, it's only 5 bones per character. That's really good. Then now there's this new premium pass, which will cost you $39.99, so 40 bones. This will come with 26 new costumes, which they didn't really show off too much. But these include, there's a really cool Alpha Kami costume. There's, this race car Ed costume and a risque waifu dancer Manad. And there's a lot more. I just didn't get to see them all, but they're adding, a whole bunch of costumes to the game for different characters. This will also include the 2 new stages, including Roses and the KOF stage. I mean, I don't know what the last character is, but it's probably a KOF stage. Or, no, it's probably a rival school stage, now that I think about it, for Akira. I think they said 3 stages, didn't they? But it says 2 stages in the premium pass. All the colors for the default, story, and battle costumes for the new characters, and 100k fight money, but just cuz. So I think the character pass is a great deal, guys. That's only $5 per character. Like I said, that's really good, especially compared to other fighting games. But the premium pass might be good too, especially if you like to play a lot of characters in Street Fighter. You're more of a casual kind of guy. You play everyone, and you want to grab all those new costumes, and you want the stages, and you want that extra fight money. Of course, guys, if you don't want to get if you're not going to play every single new character coming out, you can of course just use your fight money or just buy the characters separately for 5 bones each. Probably, which they didn't mention, but that's how it's gone in the future. And of course, the balance patch and all that, it's free once again. So yeah, apparently Capcom says you can buy these passes now, but I honestly didn't have time to check. I had to work on this video immediately. So yeah, there it goes, guys. That was as fast as I could possibly summarize it. I'll be covering all this stuff again real soon, guys, in much, much more depth. I'll probably go over Rose first, but yeah, when this update comes out, guys, expect the channel to come back to life again. Expect new guides, combo videos, shift tech. I mean, we're going to be going to work, me and Mir. He'll be out with those combo videos and stuff real soon, too. So, everything you guys need to start the season running. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, or bookmark it in case the subscription doesn't work. Ring that bell. And also watch me live on Twitch, guys. I'll be streaming almost every single night as well. It's VesperArcade on Twitch. And yeah, drop by and say hello. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys are excited for this as well. I hope this has changed your guys' minds. Maybe you guys will check out Street Fighter V again. But this will definitely keep me occupied for this year. It's going in a great direction. I'm super pumped. I hope you guys are as well. Let me know in the comments below your guys' thoughts on this, and I will cover the rest of the information very, very soon. All right, guys. Taken out. See ya. Take care.